Угломер 5804. Уровень 2909.
Огонь, да. Орудие! Выстрел!
Ноль 004. Один огонь.
Орудие!
Выстрел! Выстрел!
Russian Defense Ministry report on the progress of the special military operation. In the period of the 8th of December 2023, the armed forces of the Russian Federation inflicted 30 group strikes with high-precision weapons and unmanned aerial vehicles on the military airfield infrastructure, arsenals, storage sites for artillery ammunition, military hardware, as well as enemy PAL bases. In addition, the locations of the AFU units, nationalist formations, and foreign mercenaries were hit. All the assigned targets have been engaged. In Kupiansk direction, units the Zapad group of forces have improved the situation along the front line in several sectors and repelled 19 AFU attacks. Aviation, artillery, and heavy flamethrowers hit the manpower and hardware of the 25th Air Assault, 57th Motorized Infantry, 41st, 43rd, and 60th Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine close to Sinkovka, Ivanovka, Berestovoy, Peshenoy, and Nevskoy. The enemy losses amounted to more than 480 Ukrainian troops, 3 tanks, 13 armored fighting vehicles, 12 motor vehicles, and 7 field artillery guns. In Krasny Liman direction, units of the Center Group of Forces have improved the situation along the front line near Yampilovka, and with support of aviation and artillery fire repelled 10 attacks launched by AFU assault groups. In addition, strikes were delivered at cluster of manpower of the 95th Air Assault, 63rd and 66th Mechanized, and 12th Special Forces Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine close to Kirovsk, Torskoy, Yampol, and Serebryanka. The enemy losses were more than 1,445 troops, 11 armored fighting vehicles, 17 motor vehicles, and 5 field artillery guns. In Donetsk direction, the Yug group of forces inflicted fire damage on AFU manpower and hardware near Mariinka, Kurdyumovka, Bogdanovka, Andreevka, and Kleshchevka. Over the past week, 18 attacks launched by the Ukrainian armed forces have been repelled in this area. The enemy losses were more than 1,560 troops, 12 armored fighting vehicles, 17 motor vehicles, and 22 field artillery guns. In South Donetsk direction, units of the Vostok group of forces, aviation, and artillery inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of the 58th Motorized Infantry, 79th Air Assault, 23rd and 72nd Mechanized, and 102nd Territorial Defense Brigades near Novomikhalovka, Ugoldar, Yurzhinoy, and Levodnoy. Over the week, the enemy has suffered losses of more than 845 troops, 3 tanks, 13 armored fighting vehicles, 17 motor vehicles, 12 field artillery guns, as well as 1 Grad MLRS vehicle. In Zaporozhye direction, units of the Russian troops carried out intensive defense, during which they repelled 5 attacks launched by assault groups of the 82nd Air Assault, 117th and 100 118th Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine near Verbovoy, Nestorenka, and Uspanovka. Moreover, the Russian armed forces inflicted fire damage on manpower and hardware of AFU's 46th Airmobile, 33rd and 65th Mechanized Brigades near Dorozhnyanka, Malaya Tokmachka, and Rabatino. The enemy losses amounted to up to 260 Ukrainian troops, 6 armored fighting vehicles, 15 motor vehicles, and 5 field artillery guns. In Kherson direction, the enemy's attempts to cross the Dnieper River to land on the left bank and islands were thwarted by complex fire strikes and preventive actions of the Russian armed forces. Moreover, aviation and artillery inflicted losses on manpower and hardware of AFU's 35th and 36th Marines, 124th Territorial Defense Brigades near Tyajinka, Tokarevka, Nikolskoye, and Chernobyevka. As a result of the combat actions, the enemy losses were up to 350 troops, 13 field artillery guns, 17 motor vehicles, and 21 boats. Air defense systems shot down 5 Ukrainian aircraft and 1 Mi-8 helicopter of the Ukrainian Air Force. In addition, 11 HIMARS projectiles, 2 HARM anti-radiation missiles, 2 S-200 converted surface-to-surface missiles, 1 JDAM guided aerial bomb, as well as 224 Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles were shot down. Moreover, 12 Ukrainian servicemen have been taken prisoner during the week. In total, 550 airplanes and 257 helicopters, 9,577 unmanned aerial vehicles, 442 air defense missile systems, 13,894 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,188 combat vehicles equipped with MLRS, 7,279 field artillery guns and mortars, as well as 16,056 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. The Vostok Group of Forces units continue to carry out combat tasks in South Donetsk direction of the special military operation. During active defense, motorized rifle units in cooperation with ground attack aircraft, helicopters, and artillery inflicted fire damage on the manpower and equipment of the 23rd Mechanized, 58th Motorized Infantry Brigades and the 128th Territorial Defense Brigade close to Sladkoy, Nikolskoye, and Uruzhinoye. The losses of the armed forces of Ukraine amounted to 160 troops, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 3 motor vehicles, and 1 155mm M777 gun were hit. In Kupiansk direction, units of the Zapad Group of Forces jointly with helicopters and artillery repelled 5 attacks of assault groups of the AFU 41st Mechanized and 57th Motorized Infantry Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine near Sinkovka and Lake Liman. The enemy lost up to 75 Ukrainian troops, 2 tanks, 4 armored personnel carriers, and 2 pickup trucks. In counter-battery warfare, the group's servicemen neutralized 1 German-made 155mm PZH self-propelled artillery system, 1 U.S.-made 155mm M198 towed artillery gun, and 1 122mm D-30 towed howitzer. The enemy losses were up to 160 Ukrainian servicemen, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 3 motor vehicles, and 1 U.S.-made M777 artillery system. In Zaporozhye direction, units of the Russian Group of Forces, supported by aviation and artillery, struck clusters of manpower of the AFU 33rd Mechanized Brigade near Rabatino. The enemy's losses amounted to 60 troops, 2 motor vehicles, as well as 2 Vostok self-propelled artillery systems. In Kherson direction, Russian troops, artillery fire, and air strikes defeated the enemy near Chervony Mayak.